There's a quiet revolution happening beneath your feet, and honestly, most gardeners never even notice it. While so many people chase bigger harvests with fertilizers, gadgets, and endless soil amendments, the real transformation often begins with something far simpler. It's actually something you probably toss into the bin without a second thought. What if one overlooked kitchen scrap could pull life back into your soil faster than compost, faster than fertilizers, and get this with far less effort? This isn't hype. It's a return to how soil has always worked, through living systems, not synthetic shortcuts. And once you get this, your entire approach to gardening shifts from forcing growth to actually supporting it. Before we dig deeper, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who loves gardening, drop a comment about your own soil experiences, and subscribe to Garden Smart for more practical, no-nonsense growing knowledge. Now let's get straight into what actually works. Healthy soil isn't just dirt, it's a living ecosystem. Within a single handful exists a dense network of organisms working together to cycle nutrients, retain moisture, and support plant roots. When that system is disrupted, everything above ground suffers. Plants grow slower, leaves lose vigor, and no amount of fertilizer seems to fix the deeper issue. Modern gardening habits often focus on feeding plants directly, but this skips the critical middle layer, the biology of the soil. When that biology is weak, nutrients don't move efficiently, water drains poorly or evaporates too quickly, and roots struggle to expand. The result is a garden that constantly needs intervention instead of one that sustains itself. So, the real solution lies in restoring that biological engine, and that's where earthworms come in. Earthworms are often called nature's soil engineers, and honestly, it's for a really good reason. As they move through the ground, they create channels that allow air and water to penetrate deeply. Their castings, what they leave behind, are just packed with nutrients that plants can absorb right away. But more importantly, these castings are biologically active, which means they support ongoing soil health instead of just delivering a one-time boost. However, worms don't just appear because you want them to. They're actually super sensitive to their environment. Dry, compacted, or chemically overloaded soil will drive them away. So, if you want more worms, you need to give them a reason to stay. And honestly, even more important, a reason to come in the first place. After years of observation and real-world testing, one truth really stands out. Worms respond fastest to soft, moisture-rich fruit scraps. Among the most effective are, honestly, banana peels and melon rinds. These materials work because they align perfectly with what worms seek. They break down quickly, thanks to their natural sugars, which trigger microbial activity almost immediately. This microbial surge acts like a signal, drawing worms toward the area. At the same time, the high water content in these scraps creates a cool, damp environment, exactly the conditions worms prefer. Unlike tougher organic matter, these scraps don't sit in the soil for long. Their soft texture allows them to decompose at a pace that matches the feeding habits of worms. This means faster results and, honestly, a more direct impact on soil life. So getting this right isn't just about dumping waste into your garden. Placement and preparation really do matter. Alright, start by identifying the drip line of your plant. That's the area beneath the outer edges of its leaves. This is actually where the most active roots are located. Then, dig a small trench or hole about 4 to 6 inches deep. This depth helps protect the scraps from pests, while still keeping them within reach of worms. Next up, chop your banana peels or melon rinds into smaller pieces. This step is often overlooked, but it seriously speeds up decomposition by increasing the surface area. Place the chopped scraps into the trench and cover them lightly with soil. And, yeah, try to avoid packing the soil down too tightly. Alright, so now just finish with a layer of mulch. This really helps retain moisture, regulate temperature, and keep the environment stable for your worms and plants. And, within about a week, you might even start to notice more worm activity if the conditions are right. Fertilizers feed plants directly, but honestly, they don't build long-term soil health. Once they're used up, the whole cycle just repeats. But, in contrast, feeding worms actually creates a self-sustaining system. Worms keep processing organic matter, improving your soil structure, and supporting plant growth long after the initial scraps are gone. This approach also helps reduce your dependency on external inputs. Instead of constantly adding products, you're really working with a natural cycle that just gets more efficient over time. So moderation is key. Adding too many sugary scraps can actually attract ants or rodents and really disrupt the balance of your soil. It's honestly better to apply small amounts consistently rather than overloading one area. Moisture also plays a critical role. Even the best scraps just won't attract worms if the soil is too dry. So, try to keep the area slightly damp, especially during those hot or dry periods. And finally, avoid leaving scraps exposed on the surface. This not only invites pests, but also slows down the decomposition process. So this method is honestly about more than just attracting worms. It's really about shifting the way you think about gardening. Instead of, forcing results, you're actually creating conditions where results just happen naturally. Over time, this leads to soil that holds water better, supports stronger root systems, and recovers more quickly from stress. It becomes less dependent on outside inputs and more aligned with natural processes. In a world where growing conditions are becoming less predictable, this kind of resilience isn't just helpful, it's honestly essential. A simple banana peel or melon rind might not look like much, but in the soil it becomes the starting point of a powerful chain reaction. Worms arrive, biology wakes up, and the ground begins to heal itself from the inside out. If you found this useful, make sure to subscribe to Garden Smart. Share this with someone who loves gardening and drop a comment about what's worked in your soil. Your experience might help someone else grow better, naturally.